Good morning, good morning. Malume here. Um, I'd like to share something on eschatology, end time events, and the procession of events. I've got a different view, and I've been mulling over this and thinking about this for a while now. There's something interesting. We know that the Antichrist will establish a covenant with the many, but clearly from Scripture, we also know that the Antichrist cannot be revealed whilst the church is still here. 2 Thessalonians 2, um, whilst the restrainer is still here, the Antichrist cannot be revealed. So it is highly unlikely that we will see the covenant because the covenant reveals the Antichrist. So Donald Trump cannot be the Antichrist. He is a type, yes, but he cannot be the Antichrist. And for those that that have had revelation, MBS is the Antichrist. Those who know who MBS is understand. The Assyrian. He has to be an Assyrian. He is not an American. He is an Assyrian. The Assyrian is one of the terms that is attributed to the Antichrist. But something interesting occurred to me. There's the Psalms war, the Psalms 38 war, Psalms 83 war. I mean to say, where Israel fights their neighbors, conquers them, and gains more land. That hasn't happened yet. And then there's the Ezekiel 38 war, where Gog and Magog come down for spoils. They are coming to get spoils, which means that this comes after the Psalms 83 war, when they've conquered the nations around them and expanded their borders, and then Russia comes in for spoils. That makes sense. But then there's something else. It says that Russia comes against Israel, a city with no borders. Right now, there's a whole border that goes. I don't know how many kilometers it is. It's over 700 kilometers. A fence, a border that runs right through Jerusalem. Right. So, could it be that the rapture happens, and as the rapture happens, Israel's neighbors launch an attack? It's most probably a nuclear attack, where Israel responds with the Samson option, which is another nuclear retaliation, and also strikes Iran, because all these neighbors are sponsored by Iran. They are Iran's proxies, and their strike on Iran results in the Elam prophecy, where there's a nuclear disaster in Elam, and all the world has the inhabitants of Iran staying in them because of that nuclear incident, right? So you have an attack on Iran and attack on all of Israel's neighbors, resulting in that nuclear catastrophe, which is also prophesied when in the 7-year period where they are burning weapons, which are most probably nuclear weapons. They're getting heat from using those nuclear weapons. Now, that fits in because after that, Russia will then come in to try and take spoils of war. But before all that happens, what if the peace treaty is as a result of what happens after the war with Iran and with Israel's surrounding neighbors, the Ring of Fire? That results in the Antichrist coming and saying, "No, listen. Because of this war, let us establish a proper peace treaty, which is based on the Abrahamic Accord." That will then result in Israel not having to have any borders or any fence or any walls around its cities, because number one, their enemies have been destroyed. Number two, they now have a peace treaty that is established on the Abrahamic Accords by the Antichrist. Because the Antichrist has to have influence over all the Islamic nations. Then after that, they are able to build their third temple, which the Antichrist is going to break the treaty and try and establish himself as God in that particular temple, which also establishes a fair ground for Russia to come in and attack a country with cities with no walls around it. So it all comes together that way. And all prophecy is fulfilled. And they are burning weapons for 7 years, which is the 7-year tribulation, because they are at peace. The peace that they have received from a treaty established by the Antichrist. I mean, so that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So you have the Psalm 83 war. They attack their neighbors, and they also attack Iran, resulting in the Elam prophecy being fulfilled, and the Psalm 83 war being fulfilled. And then the Antichrist comes with a peace treaty, a 7-year peace treaty. And this is already the start of the 7-year tribulation. And you've got the inhabitants of Elam all over the world, because it says no country will not have an inhabitant from Iran. And then in the middle of the tribulation, he breaks that covenant. He rallies all the other Muslim brothers that are all over the world now because of the disaster in Elam, and then they attack. That way everything works out. Just a different eschatological point of view. Do consider it. Look into the scriptures and share with me what you think.